Alright, good morning, stream. Got 1 minute until it starts. We could be having a reversal here. If this line holds for 8 o'clock, I'm going to get in for, not a reversal. You'll see what I'm saying here in a second. We got news coming out though. We got news coming out here in 15 minutes, but if this line holds, I'm going to get in. I can explain why later. It's a setup I took in the beginning of the week too. Put account balance and everything down there. Okay, it's holding. I'm in. 4 pip stop loss, first trade for the day. Take profit 16. We gotta find that. Let me put it in the Telegram really quick. I'll fix that in a second. Hey Ben, I don't know if you're on the stream. I saw your text. I'm gonna get that too though. Okay, let's see. Let's see. This is the same setup we took in the beginning of this week, and I'll show you guys what it is. Just a second though, let's just get everything set up. Let me put the Telegram link in here, and then I'll also send it to you over text, Ben. Let me find it. It's a little harder to share it on the computer for some reason. It's hard to find. Or let me send it to you over text, Ben. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me get that for you then. Let's get that ready then. Okay. Where's the link? Okay. There you go, man. All good, Ted. Yeah, I got on I started the stream a couple minutes before 8. Okay, now I got everything set up. Let me show you why I'm in this position though. It's the same position we took. I'll go back in time in a second here. But, so one thing when a channel's ending, or when like a trend's ending, like people might like be selling off of this supply right here, and we probably would have too if it was during our session, if it was during our trading hours, but it wasn't. It was outside of our volume. But I'm going to show you exactly what I'm seeing here to get into this trade. whether it plays out like the one we had before or not. But basically, if you look closely, price pushed down here. It pushed here, or not. Let me scratch that. It pushed down, pushed up, failed to push down further, pushed up, and it's now retesting this point right here. And usually you can see a continuation off of something like that. Let me see if I can hide the chart. So that's what it's going to look like. It looks like it's breaking back to the upside, and I can show you the exact same. Basically, what this is it's a formation of a swing point rather than a previous swing point. So it's a different way you can do supply and demand. That's a little more complicated. But these setups, I took 2 of them last week, and they actually play out really nice if you can just see the formation. And they usually happen at the beginning of New York, I've noticed. So but we got news in 10 minutes though. Yeah, of course. I'll show you the other 2 that I took trades like that on. That worked out pretty well. Once we either get this to break even or this trade's over. But long story short, when price consolidates like this, or once it does something outside of just a normal trend, it's going to give us a formation to end whatever consolidation or something it's doing, and it's going to indicate to the upside or the downside. It's not always right, but it does play out nice when it does, because it's a good opportunity that typically most traders aren't going to see, because it's so tight. It's a very small formation, and I feel like sometimes the more obvious a setup is, the less likely it is to play out. We got 9 minutes though. We'll keep an eye on everything so that we can trade this news accordingly if we're still in trade by then. Let me get my notes out for everyone. Okay, I'll just have that out. Let me move it to the other screen really quick so I can look at it. Okay. Another thing I mentioned yesterday, we're always going to be better off if we can continue doing what price has already been doing, especially if the fundamentals continue to fall in line. And price, right here is when London opened and price has been doing nothing but trending up. So falling in line with that is already another, it's another thing in our favor. Ideally, though, I'd like to get this trade to break even before the news comes out. Either way, we're going to move our stop loss to the low of whichever candle's most in profit, whichever candle is before the news. Let's see, too, really quick. We got news at 8:15, at 8:30, some orange folder at 9:45, and then the Fed rate later this evening. You can see too, we've got our levels to trail the news. If price pushes for us, so we'll trail our stop loss to these lines. Yeah, I'll try to keep it still for you guys right now. I'll be honest though, while we're waiting on this, I'll just tell you guys, I feel like ever since I started like streaming and stuff again, and like trying to go after what I feel like God's called me to, I feel like I've been getting attacked. I had problems with the dentist. I have to make an emergency appointment today. I messed up my crowns and my bite, and it's just like attacks coming at me. So honestly, this time around though, I feel better about it because I know the attacks are coming because I'm doing what God wants me to do. But before, it just like kind of caught me off guard. But this time, I just know to keep pushing through and keep trusting God. Let's see. Sometimes it's just one foot in front of the other. That's all you can do. So, just so you guys know too, the forecast is in our favor too, for everything coming out this morning. And then the federal funds rate is supposed to stay the same. But the 8:15 news and the 8:30 news are both in our favor, the forecast at least. And that could be a good reason why price has been trending up since London. So, let's see if we get a continuation. But, okay, so you guys see this candle? If this candle keeps pushing, our stop loss is going to be pretty much like right below that candle. We'll take our take profit off and we'll just let, like right before the news. And that's how we'll trail it. We'll probably move our stop loss to this red line right below this candle. So it won't be, if we do lose, we'll take a little hit on commissions, but unless this candle happens to push 5 pips right now, that's what we'll plan on doing. And let me put in the Telegram too, the news. Do that, just so. Okay. I don't know if it's like this for you guys too. I'm going to show you something that I noticed on why you want to do, if you're going to move stuff before the news, you want to do it like 10 seconds before. Look at right here. It's saying 145. There's about a 4 or 5 second difference on the time that it's saying it's going to release and on the time it's saying this candle's going to close. So like 15 to 10 seconds before this candle closes, I'm going to get ready and move stuff. Because this is saying that news. I noticed that last week. It's saying the news is going to come out before the candle closes. Whether it does or not, I don't know. I don't feel like the price jumps 5 seconds before, but I guess it could. But we're just going to be ready around like 15 seconds to put everything in place the way it needs to be. And again, you can see the account balance and P&L down here so you guys can track with me. Got 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead right now and take the take profit off. Get ready to move our stop loss. About 15 seconds. Move it to this red line under this candle. And we'll get ready to move it further if price goes for us. It's going for us. I'm going to try bring it to the next level if price goes further. Nope, we got taken out. Oh well. We won for the day. So thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ted. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you guys showing up. We made a nice gain on the account though today after some early losses this week. Let me see. 45.8. I just want to put it on here so we could track it right. I'm checking the Forex account to see where it actually took me out at. Okay, so 8.9 pips is what we actually closed out on that trade. And we're done for the day. We're done for the day. We made profit. We didn't hit full TP. Let me see though really quick if it would have. I'm not. Yeah, no. See, that's why we trail. We take it off. The news is our opportunity to. Let me turn the music off. The news is our opportunity to get, like Ted and I were talking about yesterday, those big trades that can cover all your losses. Because the truth is, you know, you guys saw it in the past. News events can just go and go and go and go. Sometimes, and this is the way I started to understand it. You know, because like on news events, when you get wicked out, I used to always be like, they're just taking liquidity. They're just taking my money. They're just trying to like manipulate the market. That might be true, but thinking about it that way is not gonna it's not gonna help you want to take news trades and get back into the markets like that. When quite honestly, there's so many times that the news will go in one direction and will never wick you out. And so if you think that like the news is like always just gonna wick me out and it's gonna just take my money, then you're gonna miss some of the biggest opportunities you have in trading when the news just goes one direction and doesn't return. It doesn't wick even a half a pip in the other in the opposite direction before it takes off. So I'll tell you guys the way I started thinking about the news, and how I started to perceive, you know, whether it's right or wrong. I'll tell you how I started to perceive news events, and it's gonna help you guys a lot. Let me go to a blank space. So the way I now look at a news event is if let me see, let me draw this. If price is right here and during a news event it can either wick out and go like this and even go like this and create all of this tug of war, or price can just go and take off in one direction. So when this happens, the way I look at it is I look at it as basically a lot of big players, and this might even be wrong, honestly, but this is the way I perceive it now, and it helps me to take these trades. So it's just a story you kind of got to tell yourself, because it's either going to happen like this, you're going to get chopped up, or it's going to go straight in the direction. But I want to be able to be in the market for this opportunity, so I don't want to be afraid of this happening. So basically, when this happens, the way I look at it is it's just a bunch of big players in disagreement. So people dump money into the market this way. A lot of big players dump money in the market this way. A lot of other big players disagreed with them, dump money in the market this way. And then even more big players, disagreed with them and just, and it's like a battle. But when the market goes in one direction only and doesn't go against you one pip at all, and it just takes off 40, 50, 60, 80 pips, what I like to think is that all those big players, they're all in agreement. And so they all put their money in the market the same way. And so during a news release, the reason I like to trade them is because if I'm in agreement and all the big players are in agreement, and it's not even going to go against us a pip, and we're all dumping our money the same way, it can like Ted and I said yesterday, you can have one trade that completely takes out all of your losses for the month just in one trade with a 12 risk to reward, 15 risk to reward. But days like this, you just put a tight stop loss, and you just accept the fact that you can get slipped a couple pips every now and then. This trade once or twice a month will completely, negate all those slippage and all that stuff. So that's a new way to think about it. Have a great day. Have a great day, Ben. Thank you for praying for me for the dentist appointment. I'll definitely need that. Yeah, and I'm checking the chat now. Let me explain to Ted why I got in, where and why I got in. But I hope that helps explain, the way I see news events and why I think it's so important to stay in those trades if you're already in a position and to protect it like that. Okay, let me show you the past trades too. So, this was one of them. So, this was almost an identical setup. It had been trending upwards in London, and then we had seen this channeling downwards right before. But right before 8 o'clock, this dotted line, you can see price did this. Let me put the magnet on. Price was continuing its downtrend, and then it broke the downtrend. You'll have to you start to develop an eye for the market structure instead of seeing candles. I try not to even pay attention to the Japanese candles really anymore, honestly, unless I'm looking for supply and demand. But this is what I saw. So it was channeling down the entire 3 hours before New York started, and then New York was going to pick a direction it was going to go in. But I saw this as the end of this down channel, and now it had made a break to the upside. And so market structure, a downtrend is going to be like this. It keeps breaking to the downside, but once it clears a swing high, then it can start going to the upside. So you have to, basically what I'm saying is there's a possibility for us to see, when a swing point's going to form, and then take that, so this is the swing point. And now there's a possibility for us to see that supply and demand, where price it broke structure, formed the swing point. And now when swing points form, I often see it have a good, basically a break, and then a good hold off of that supply or demand, and then go in the direction to start its next correction or impulse or whatever. So yeah, so it was breaking downward in this downtrend, and then it reversed structure is what I'm looking at. It broke the. Let me see. I don't know why this thing's in the way. So basically, I'm looking for like this to be the end of a swing point. So this was a push. If we get out all the noise, it's coming down now. Basically, looking for this to end, and we see the swing structure, and then we see the supply and it plays off the supply and demand, and I'll show you. But we're looking at it more like a big move like that. But you can see right at 8 o'clock, it held that supply and demand right here, just like it did today. It broke to the upside, and then it held this this demand. It's hard to see. This is something that I've started to notice. I can show you another example on a trade I took last week. This is one I'll keep trying to explain if I'm gonna take those setups. Okay, so here's another one. Here's another one, a good example. Yeah, I'm really happy you were able to join us again, Ken. I'm really glad to be doing this, and really grateful that God's given me another chance to come back and do it when I kind of turned away from it and ran from it for a couple months there. But there was a necessary work that had to be done, and just very grateful to be doing this again, and to not just like be streaming alone, to have you guys interacting and being a part of it too, and I hope we all grow together. So this was another one though. One thing I want you guys to start doing is seeing past the candlesticks and seeing the actual structure. So like you can see what price is doing. Price is pushing down. You kind of got to look past all the noise. And what we see here is price now is breaking right here. This was this setup, and then it pulled back into this demand or supply. So let me turn this off. So when you look past the noise, this is what happened, and then there was some supply right here, and that we took our trade off of. Let me just do this so you guys can, it's a better picture. There's some supply like right there, and that we took our trade off of. So I'm always trying to look past the noise. So we see it kind of did the same thing, just in the other direction. It consolidated, but it broke to the downside, and then continued. So it's the markets are gonna be different every day. We're never gonna see the same exact thing, but they have commonalities, and they do set up in similar ways sometimes. And so it's really just, I've been trying to not like try to make the market fit into a box every day, and just kind of trying to take it as it comes and seeing how it's playing out, seeing if I can see the market structure past the candles. And then the most important thing is not just knowing where it's going or the market structure, but it's like, where am I getting in? That is the most important thing. And because you have to have small losses, and if you don't have a precise spot to get in, you can't have a small loss, like a 4-pip stop loss. Like we can't you can't just get in the market anywhere and put a 4-pip stop loss. You'll get stopped out every time. But if you have an exact entry point, who knows how far the trade's going to run, but you have to have that entry point. And so that's why I only trade supply and demand for entry points. But at the same time, you got to feel out which supply and demand points you want to use each day. Are they going to develop in front of you like that? Are you going for, like obvious ones? Are there more subtle supply and demands where they just make slight break of structures and then go? It's stuff like that. And it's not, I'll keep explaining it every day because it's going to be different every day. But it's just a different market every day, and we'll be able to take it as it comes. If you guys are staying on this call, I'm gonna do the notes, and we're gonna see what we've actually made today. But I've got to run really quick out into the kitchen for 2 minutes. I'll be right back, and then we'll close out the call, and we'll take a look at the notes and see where we're at for the week. But I'll be right back. Okay, sorry guys. I'm back. So, okay. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Let us take our notes out and put them right here. I'm trying to put them in the middle of the screen so you guys can see. This is our new account balance. Okay, this is day 7 of trading again. On the streams, so we've done 7 streams now. Now let's see what our gains were for the day. Okay. Covering some of the losses we already took this week, so that's good. And I put that in the wrong spot. Okay, let's see the percentage. So today's 1 win covered yesterday's loss and break-even trade. And we didn't even hit full TP or even get a full risk reward today, so that was still nice. Okay, so we made 2.33% today. Made $175. Okay, so we're coming back around for the week. We got tomorrow and Friday. Let's just take a look at what we've got on the economic calendar. Together, we've got unemployment claims tomorrow at 8:30 and PMI at 10, and then on Friday is going to be kind of crazy. I think we hopefully we'll get our setup and our trade before 8:30, because the markets are just going to be moving with non-farm employment change. So Friday's going to be a crazy day. But like I said too, there's been times where on non-farm you'll get wicked out, and then there's been times where it will take off in one direction and not return. And I just, you got to look at that as are all the big players going to be in agreement that morning? Hopefully, and hopefully we're in agreement with them too. But glad to have a good winning day after the last 2 days. Looking to keep it up this week so that we can end the week on a positive note. If not, though, we're still up for the last 7 trading days, and we'll continue to grow the account. I'm going to close it out now with just letting the stream know that Jesus died for your sins, and you're eternally forgiven if you receive Him. I'm gonna, say that in every stream. It's absolutely necessary for people to know that there's more. There's more than just this life, and there's a whole eternity after this life, and I feel like we're really preparing for eternity, while we're here on Earth. So I just want you guys to keep that before you. And yeah, I feel like we had a good stream today. Went over some good things, had some good breakdowns. If you guys ever have any questions, let me know. And yeah, thank you, Ted, for staying in today. Thank you, Ken and Ben, for watching. I don't know if you guys are here anymore too. And yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.